Rhonda is a licensed Maryland pharmacist with 25 years of experience. Her background includes subject matter expertise investigating fraud, waste, and abuse in Medicare drug program. Rhonda realized earlier in her career that the important role that governmental affairs plays in the profession of pharmacy, serving in multiple leadership roles, including 3 years as the Governor Hogan appointee to the Maryland Board of Pharmacy, where she served as a commissioner and an executive committee member with the role of secretary. Her career also includes a passion for state and national prescription drug pricing, policy analysis, and research. Working as a consultant, the National Coalition on Healthcare and the Campaign for Sustainable Prescription Pricing. And what Rhonda left out here is her daughter's following in her footsteps, which sounds great. Now, Rhonda's speech is prescription pricing, one dose at a time. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech. Prescription pricing, one dose at a time. Rhonda Toney.
Thank you, Freeman, for that introduction. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and thank you, friends, for attending this presentation this evening. Tonight, we're going to talk about a subject that I am passionate about, and that is the drug pricing problem in the United States. I first became aware of this issue as a new pharmacist and pharmacy manager at Rite Aid Pharmacy in South Baltimore. As a new graduate of a top pharmacy school, Duquesne University, I was feeling pretty confident about my ability to handle pretty much any situation as I was starting this job. However, none of the classes I had taken in school prepared me for what I was about to experience. It was a Friday night, and a man came into the pharmacy, and he was dropping off a prescription for an inhaler, and I noticed that he was experiencing labored breathing and shortness of breath, and he was really having difficulty. So I got to work on the prescription. I typed it into the computer, I verified, and then I filled the prescription, and I did everything that a pharmacist is supposed to do. And I brought the prescription to the counter, and the price of the medication was $40. Despite his problem with breathing, he explained that he couldn't afford his medication. While I did eventually pay for this medication for him, it was certainly an eye-opening experience for me. Many have not had the opportunity to examine the drug pricing problem in as great a detail as I have. However, this issue impacts us all. I use the story of my friend, Mr. Evans, as an example to explain the unnecessary hardships for us Americans who pay the highest prescription prices in the world. According to a report that's prepared by the Ways and Means Committee staff with the clever title of A Painful Pill to Swallow, US versus International Prescription Prices, the prices we pay were nearly 4 times higher than the average prices compared to similar countries. The US could save approximately $49 billion annually in Medicare Part D alone by using the average drug prices to similar countries. Obviously, as prescription prices go up, those with low-paying jobs and the elderly suffer unnecessarily, and they have to make tough choices between sometimes paying for their medications or breathing, like Mr. Evans did. I'd like to highlight the top 3 factors for you that impact drug pricing in the United States. Number 1, lack of buyer negotiation power. The United States differs from other developed countries that are similar to us with the respect of our ability the ability of our government to review new and expensive brand name drugs and to limit the prices of prescription drugs charged by big drug companies. Yet Medicare, our federal program that provides health coverage for older adults, and Medicaid, a program that provides health care for individuals with low incomes, combined are the highest purchasers of prescription drugs in the world. Real people who are suffering right now and making choices about their medications could be affected positively by legislation that allows them to not have to make a choice between paying for the medications and paying for food. Number two, how much drug companies spend on advertising versus research and development. According to the Council of Economic Advisors February 2020 report, US patients and taxpayers fund nearly half of all global medical research. Drug companies should be required to disclose where funding comes from and how money is spent on advertising and marketing of their drugs. Number three, our prescription pricing system is out of control in the United States. Drug makers set their own prices and they have the ability to increase their prices as much as they want and as often as they want. What? In addition to these three major factors, there are other important issues that contribute to our high prices. And this is not an exhaustive list. Rampant direct-to-consumer drug advertising. The US and New Zealand are two countries that allow direct-to-consumer advertising. Brand name drug companies that block generic competition. Yes, this actually happens. After engaging in many months of research on this topic with the National Coalition on Healthcare, it was more than obvious that prescription pricing in the US is a very complex issue, my friends. The simple message is that medications are often a matter of life and death for patients. The profits of drug companies are not more important than people. People like my friend, Mr. Evans, are counting on us to come together in order to get medication prices in the US in line with what other countries are paying. We shouldn't have to think twice about taking care of ourselves and families. So let's challenge ourselves to become more educated on this topic. I've provided you with some additional reading material, and I welcome the opportunity to discuss this topic with you in the future. Thank you.
Let's welcome to the stage Jenn Triplett.
Okay. Well, I had the pleasure of doing Rhonda's evaluation. The title was Prescription Pricing, One Dose at a Time. I thought it was a very interesting and insightful and very well-researched project and presentation that she provided. I think it was amazing that she paid for somebody's prescription as well. I would love to hear a little bit more from that person's reaction, like what happened, like, wow, you know, like, I mean, I think that is like a really generous thing that you did, and it was sort of like glossed over. You have a tendency to gloss over. I do think that you seem very confident, and you were like dead on looking at the camera. I mean, you were making direct eye contact the whole time. It wasn't like you were, you were reading anything. You made great eye contact. I also think that maybe a few more, like a visual cue, like a little graph or something that might help you, might help pace you a little bit and make you feel a little bit more comfortable because you have like something to touch, feel a little bit, you know, okay, I'm at this point, I can slow down a little bit or I need to speed up. I know that your lighting was really well done. Your background was really well done. There was no distractions in that aspect. I do think that maybe if you change up your tone of voice a little bit, you know, I like that, just to bring a little bit more emotion into your speech, what you're speaking, so to speak, that might jazz things up a little bit. Just give it a shot. Just practice on Zoom, record yourself a few times. All in all, that was an excellent speech. It was really interesting information, and I think it's important message that everybody should hear. So thank you.